KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Taylor. Longtime Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein has passed away at the age of 90. Her political career reached the national spotlight in 1978 when she became San Francisco's first ever woman mayor. In 1992, she became the first female U.S. senator in the state of California. Michael Kastner has more.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is honoring the late Feinstein. While speaking on the floor this morning, Schumer called Feinstein one of the most amazing people to ever grace the Senate and the country.
Dianne didn't just push down doors that were closed for women. She held them open for generations of women after her to follow her.
He praised her work on gun control, women's issues, and climate change. He said she was smart, strong, but most of all had amazing integrity. An emotional Senate Republican Minority Leader, Mitch McConnell, also praised his late friend. At the White House, correspondent Ali Rafa with a statement from President Biden.
Dianne made her mark on everything from national security to the environment to protecting civil liberties. She's made history in so many ways, and our country will benefit from her legacy for generations.
I'm Michael Kastner.
The United Auto Workers are once again expanding their strike. UAW President Shawn Fain said his announcement was delayed Friday morning after a flurry of activity and said Stellantis made big progress moments before he began speaking. However, Fain called for 7,000 workers at GM and Ford plants to go on strike. Jimmy Carter's 99th birthday celebrations being moved up to avoid a government shutdown. Carter's the oldest living former U.S. president and will turn 99 years old on Sunday, October 1st. A birthday celebration was planned for the day at the Jimmy Carter Library and Museum in Atlanta, but those plans have been moved up in case the government shuts down Saturday night. Half of shoppers plan to begin their holiday shopping by Halloween this year, according to a recent Bankrate report. Retail Me Not found as many as 64% of shoppers are kicking off the season in October, up from 53% last year. You're listening to the latest on NBC News Radio.
It's a bird!
It's a plane!
No, it's Super Roth!
Okay, a gimmicky opening for a commercial about Super Roth Universal Life Insurance, but I'm sure it got your attention. Now, what is a Super Roth, you ask? It's a permanent indexed universal life insurance that's totally liquid and easily accessible once it matures. Can be used to supplement retirement savings or a death benefit, or both. Has no income or contribution limit. Has no 5-year rule like Roth IRAs. Has no 10% penalty for accessing the funds before age 59 and a half. Oh, and the average historical returns are 5 to 7% annually, tax-free. Super Roths also lock in gains, which means you don't lose your money when the market is down. Sounds incredible, right? Sounds super? Super Roths are the way of the future, specifically your future. To see if you qualify for a Super Roth, go online to thesuperroth.com.
The benefits of adding a Ritchie to your operation extend far beyond saving you time, money, and water. By choosing Ritchie, you'll conserve water, protect the land, reduce energy, and promote a healthier environment for generations to come. Because we know, like you know, that every saved drop matters. Start a ripple effect of sustainability today by visiting ritchiefount.com/sustainability.
More than 80 million Americans depend on AM radio each month for news, weather, and emergency information. A new bill in Congress would make sure AM radio remains in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to support the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Announcing the grand opening of the brand new Habitat for Humanity Restore in Redlands. What is Restore? It's a home improvement store and retail center that sells donated furniture, home accessories, building materials, and appliances at a fraction of the retail price. Habitat for Humanity uses funds raised by its restores to help deserving families build, rehabilitate, and repair their homes. You'll find unique and high-quality items such as furniture from major retailers, HVAC filters, canister lighting, and more. Habitat Restores rely on generous donations to help them create home ownership opportunities. The new Restore is located at 1392 Industrial Park Avenue in Redlands. Restore is open Wednesdays through Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Restore in Redlands, restoring lives.
Place to go so
Okay,
I can come over.
come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KZAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, Streaker, and anything else you want. And, and yes, I am broadcasting live from Canada, up here in the Great White North. And it is Friday because you see my beautiful Inside and Out co-host. She's got a fabulous hat on. I don't think I've ever seen you with a hat. My goodness gracious.
I'm away too. I'm not at home. I'm in Palm Springs.
I see it. You're in the a travel van here. And we have our cashew gallery too. We've got Maria. We've got Orville Nation from Spain / New York. Let's see. We just got all kinds of fun going on, and we're so glad that you're here because this is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kanye, formerly or now known talk, because we want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So we have topics and guests and special series like today, Tempting Conversations with Dr. Marissa and
Elon Carter. Good morning.
Good morning.
I had to get my coffee this morning because I'm on location and the internet wasn't working. So you know when the internet doesn't work, where do you go? Starbucks.
That's so smart.
Free advertising for Starbucks. I'm in your parking lot. Thank you for your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that is so funny. That is a good way to do it, though. I think I've done that before. So you ready to cheers?
It doesn't work. You get in your car and you go to Starbucks. And, well, I'd have my coffee anyway, so
right.
It serves purpose.
Here we go. Cheers.
Ready?
Cheers. Cheers. Hey. Let's have breakfast, coffee, and a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So we do the top of the bun, 8 specific things that we're grateful for. Starting with, I'm grateful for my friend Elon Carter.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, well, I have to tag you back. I'm grateful for my friend Dr. Marissa. Hey, how are you?
Feel the love. Can you feel the love?
Did you just get your hair done? Your hair looks cute.
No, I was just complaining about it actually because the water in Canada is different and the weather. So between the water and the weather, I cannot get it to do what it normally does.
Okay, so if Asian hair doesn't act right, you can imagine what my hair will do.
So you better not get here, So
if your hair's not acting right, I'm not gonna mess with my hair. So when I go on vacation, I go to Florida. I'm like, it can make Asian hair frizzy. The humidity. This is what I don't like about it. It's so humid. It's weird. Like at least in California, it's dry, so my hair I blow dry it stays straight.
Yeah, we're getting some love here. I don't know, Orville. Do you use a fake name at Starbucks? Why would you do that? When they ask how you can help. I guess. Well, my second gratitude is for PJ and Maria. That's 2. And they are They are wonderful supporters of this show, and we just love interacting with them. They were having a field day yesterday. It was so funny.
What did you guys talk about? Who'd you have on yesterday?
I had on, well, it was Sam's last co-host Thursday for Straight Talk, and it was Frank's first official co-host day, or the overlap. So next week he will be my new co-host of Straight Talk, and so Maria and Orville Nation were giving him love, and then the topic was, let me think. It was why do people stay in crappy relationships?
Okay.
So it was interesting. So we had a lot of stuff.
Sounds like something we would talk about.
Yeah, we could still talk about that, but I kind of I like the friend theme. I went and found a whole bunch of things. I was so we're getting away from breakfast. Hold on. We want to say a new hello to someone new who knows PJ, a Dago Outlaw. I don't think I've seen him here before. So welcome to a Dago Outlaw, a sci-fi author. He is in the house. All right. So we got.
I need to have London on the show because she loves sci-fi. She explains it all to me. She talks about the black hole. I tease her about it all the time, but anybody sci-fi, I have to contact you. I have to talk to my daughter.
Oh, for sure. For sure. We'll get her on a Friday.
Yes.
So, last gratitude.
I am grateful to be able to come here and relax and have a vacation. I needed a mommy break.
Are you in Palm Springs?
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
And I'm sitting at Starbucks, and my head's on swivel because what we're seeing is so interesting.
Oh, are you people watching?
Yes, and it's hysterical. And I have my best friend in the car, Cassandra.
Hi, Cassandra. Have I met Cassandra before?
Yes. I grew up with her. She was at Trace's show. My mom's in the back seat.
Yeah. Hi.
That's Goldie's hand. This is Cassandra's hand. Wait. Hi.
Is Mama in the back?
Huh?
Is Mama in the back?
Yeah, Goldie was in the back. See her hand?
Goldie!
See, there's one brown hand, there's one pasty hand back there.
I just love it. I love it.
It's a hard time.
A lot of love on the show today.
So we have. She said, "I just realized what you said."
Who said?
My mom. I said, "You see some brown hands. We're the brown girls. You see the pasty one in the back."
Oh my goodness!
I slipped and said it. She goes, "I just realized what you said."
Well, Goldie, this is tempting conversation, so you just never know.
I have to
never know what's gonna.
I have to give her some mess just because. You have to tease her all the time. I mean, she's golden because she's always got golden tans on, like her tan spray or whatever. So we have to tease her.
Yeah, I definitely want to change being called yellow as a race to golden.
Well, that's what we call her because that's her color.
Yeah,
but she's okay with it. She's okay with it. We talk about her all the time. She's okay with it.
I love your mom.
She takes it in stride. It's just fun and fun.
Any person that you compliment on something that she has on her, and then she turns around and gives it to you, like that's a friend for life.
Aww.
That touched me so much. I will never forget that for as long as I live. I think that was just such a loving thing to do. So anyways, where were we? Oh, yes. We finished with the top of the bun. That's the top of the gratitude sandwich. The bottom of the bun is appreciation, which is what do you like about yourself? Because it is my BS, my belief system, that the hallmark of good mental health is to self-approve, to self-love, instead of reaching for a temporary masking pharmaceutical. So I want you to build your muscle in knowing what you like about yourself. So the more we can do that, the less we're looking with our antenna for love in all the wrong places. So I appreciate that I am always loving to learn new things.
I love that I take action.
I appreciate that I love to laugh. Laughter is my favorite sound in the world.
That's a good one. You got another one that you have to say. I'm going to say it for you. I'm going to give you your third one. You appreciate that you like to dance no matter where you are. Because my mom said, I just saw Marissa, she's dancing.
Yeah,
I appreciate that I love to talk shiitake all the
yeah,
time.
and you do. And you do. The best thing about Alon, and one of the topics I wanted to do today was just friendship, because I love that I can, this is another gratitude, I guess. I love that no matter what's going on, I can just tell her what's going on, the truth, and she just will automatically take my side and like and she'll just like slam on what, and they deserve it, of course. But I just love that about friendship, and how I have to I'm going to get a little much. I have to admit, I am one of those people that like do this, like come here but go away, because of my history with friendship. I had a person once, I introduced her as a best friend, and she she looked at me and goes, I'm your friend, but I'm not your best friend. So that really, that kind of made me shy away from labeling
well, my
anybody
best
as
friend's sitting here, and if she says that, I'm a soccer.
right.
Yeah, bestie forever.
Right.
She
So,
says
but
it, I'm like, what'd you say? See, that's the difference between you and I. I was like, what'd you say? I've been friends with you since we were 12. I'm gonna knock you out.
yeah, well,
You better say it even if you don't feel it.
I just stuck my tail between my legs and
No, you know what? People
slunk away.
say stuff like that. That's not nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So
yeah.
I appreciate that you have proven to me that life with friends is way better than taking my toys and going to live on a desert island by myself.
I don't want to do that. Like, I appreciate that I don't need approval from anybody. If someone doesn't like me or doesn't want to hang out with me or doesn't want to be my best friend, I was like, the heck with you then. Who cares? I like myself. That's what we used to tell me and my friend when we were growing up, me and Cassandra, we we compliment each other. We're like, no one else likes us. We like ourselves. So I'll tell you something good about yourself. You tell me something good. And so people would have probably think we're crazy because we just drive down the street telling each other how good we are.
Well, I think that's a wonderful thing, which is why I was drawn to you all. And Orville's calling up Jerry Seinfeld.
He's talking about Jerry Seinfeld.
And he also says that we can have many best friends, which is great. And I would say at this point that I would count PJ and Maria as well as in my friend circle. So thank you for being so unconditional. Like PJ just hit me up after 7 years and said, I just want to talk. Like he didn't want anything from me. He just wanted to connect and, what can I do for you? And I'm like, who is that? What, what's going on here? But I just love that. So
well, we do have some people that are, higher vibrational people who have elevated themselves to be, not just about themselves. Maria is really sweet like that. Goldie, are you connected? My mom's her car and it came on. I'm like, Mom, are you doing something? Turn it off.
We're live right now.
Right.
All right. Last thing that you appreciate about yourself?
I think I said all my appreciation.
Okay, that's fine. I appreciate that I'm a fashionista. So there.
You are a fashionista.
And so are you. So there we go.
Even though I have to say I have really nice clothes. I love clothes. I love to shop, right? I've gotten Trace as a sick wardrobe, and I will wear jeans and a t-shirt every day and tennis shoes. And my sister says I dress like a teenage boy still, because no matter what, I'll have a t-shirt and jeans on and have like the most like nice designer clothes. That's all I want to wear. Jeans and t-shirt. I'm regressing.
I don't even have a pair of jeans.
Oh, I have like 50 pair of jeans, and I will buy
I don't like jeans
because I love jeans so much. I will like put the most nicest top on with the pair of jeans. If I can get away with jeans, I will put like a super nice top on and expensive shoes, and that's it. I'm done. And a leather jacket. That's all I want to wear. That's my uniform. I don't want to put a dress on. I have a
Yeah.
dress on today, though. I have a
Yes.
little pretty green dress. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, I
Little dress
see.
on.
Very beautiful.
Because it's hot. It's hot. It's in Palm Spring. It's like,
Which is why I'm not there.
oh, you know, I love the heat.
I know. I know. And I don't.
I like
Orville Nation, it only took me 8 years to be on my friend list. That's hilarious. That's not true. And PJ's, oh, Maria's laughing at PJ. I saw, oh, here we go. My BFF is a man. Women are mean to me
Yes.
sometimes.
Because Maria's pretty and women don't like pretty women. They're insecure. That's
True.
why.
True that.
I mean, women can be so nasty. And I don't know, it just never stops, even when you meet new people. And I tell my son, I say, listen, it doesn't matter how old you are. Like, you know, I'm a middle-aged woman and I still get so much hate. And it's just, you would think that you would get out of that when you're in your 20s, right? No one never stops.
No.
It's just, people are just like that. And women get insecure. But I had one of my really good friends growing up, she said, and she's older than me, but when I was younger, she said she had lost several really good friends. And I said, why? She goes, because women, it's very hard. If you're not secure with your career and if you've not had a successful marriage, then they become bitter and then they resent you. So you will tend to lose friends that you even grew up with when you get a certain age, because if they haven't achieved that and you lose your beauty, you lose your youth. And so women become bitter. And I'm finding, I didn't want to believe it, but some of it's true.
Yeah, definitely. You've been a really good teacher for me to not take all that stuff personally. So.
You wrote me something the other day, and I'm like, you got to let that go, right?
Yes, Mom.
That's that person's problem, unfortunately, and you already know this information. So
I know.
Don't harbor it, because it comes right back up every time you have to address it again, and you can't address it. You got to meditate and let it go, release it. They said that they have to release it, and they haven't released it. So why should you take it on?
Yeah, for sure. And that is it for. And I don't usually use mice. I'm at my great niece's place, and I'm trying to find the button here.
Oh,
okay. Let's see. We've got one more comment. Any date shakes at the Springs today, Alon? Oh,
any what?
Date shakes.
Date shakes. I'm at a friend's house. I wish I was at a resort. Somebody want to send me a resort coupon? Send me a voucher.
There you go. There you go. All right. We just finished with breakfast with Dr. Marissa and
Elon Carter
here on Tempting Conversations. This is, if you've just tuned in, take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube TV channel, Home Central, to 1,030 shows, 1,030 podcast shows, 595 consecutive weeks. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And if you do this discipline for 28 consecutive days, I promise you will wrap your day in the most positive way so that we can all be nicer to each other and find the kind in humankind. And let's go to the topic, which today, as usual, it's whatever we're tempted,
whatever we feel like talking about today. I couldn't think of anything.
Feel like talking about. And I know that I'm in Canada, and I wanted just to, I think that if you keep stuff inside sometimes that's bothering you, it's not good for you. Not that you need to share it with the world, which I tend to do because of my show platform, but I am advocating friends, which I did, and just told her the truth this week about some of the challenges. You know, I'm here. My mom has Parkinson's. She's had it for the last 7, I want to say, years. And now the new diagnosis that I just got from the nurse is she also has some dementia. So it's just been, it's difficult to, I go from,
my mom was also not the nicest person when I was growing up. So she has a bit of that as well. And I've forgiven and I continue to just love her for who she is. I don't regret anything that I went through. But it's not easy. And I know that people who go home, right? Eckhart Tolle says, if you think you're enlightened, spend a week with your family. And that is definitely the truth, except if your mom is Goldie. But I've definitely just, had this time here where I have a lot of mixed emotions. I had to go through some of her stuff, and I was telling Alon that, one of the bags was just full of her clothes and stuff that got wet, and it was completely moldy. And that was just not fun because I'm deathly allergic to mold. And, at first, when she's like, I don't care, give me the stuff. And like, I've got hives on and I'm, you know, gasping for breath. It's like, oh, here we go. One more time. She's wanting her stuff and that's more important than me, which was what I remember as a kid, and realizing that, this is her stuff and that's pretty much all she has now. In the she's turning 89 and throwing a party for her Sunday, and the dementia, she will ask the same thing over and over and over again, like 100 times. And after I said it out loud and texted Alon about it, and she was she came back with, that's not your stuff. You need to, let it go and not take it. That's not your stuff. And it just made me realize the importance of friendship, the importance of not trying to tackle everything on your own. And that was what I learned this week. So that's what I'm tempted to talk about.
Well, you could talk about that. Like it's like you can't. You're harboring things that, and I know that because it's come up in conversation from your childhood, and as she gets, progressively, if it advances her health, um, you're gonna find more. She's gonna act out more, but you've got to
Mm-hmm.
release that because she's not going to change, and now she's going to go regress back to how she always was. That was her personality.
Right.
You shared that some of the things, how what she went through, and so that's just how she knows. She takes it out on you. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of times, if women are married or didn't have good marriages or weren't happy with the spouse and do certain things, they take it out on the kids because the kids are an extension of that, you know, person that you were with.
Yeah. And then I had a cool, difficult conversation with her last night, and I said, are you afraid of dying? Because there's like a part of the day when she's not suffering from the side effects of the Parkinson's drugs, levodopa, that has hallucinations as well
That's
as,
probably not dementia. That's probably what it is. It's a
yeah. Well, no, the doctor and the nurse said that it's not uncommon. Like, yeah. So, but when she was lucid and she was talking, I said, are you afraid of dying? And I was like not wanting to talk about it, but I think that I'm really glad that I brought it up because she's like, no, I'm not afraid, and I'm like, that's great, right? And I said, is there anybody you're looking forward to seeing when you go to heaven? And she goes, yeah, my parents, and then my aunties. And I said, not dad, huh?
exactly. That's exactly what I just said. That's why she has attitude she has. I'm sorry that
I
you
just
had to
thought
deal
that
with
was
it.
hilarious. But it's kind of sad, when people are in that stage of the sunset years. I think it was 2 visits ago. I try to go, once a quarter if I can handle it. Um, and she said, she told me this horrible story. I mean, and she started it by saying, do you know why I hated your father so much? And I went, I really want to know this? And it's so sad when people share with you, and it helped me understand why she was so angry. A lot of the time is, she had this guy that she was in love with, and he wasn't in love with her, like for like 10, 15 years.
That
And
makes
so sad,
yeah.
that was her life experience. So
Right.
anyways.
She ends up being with your dad. My grandmother, my dad's mom, shared some stuff that she was really bitter. My dad always says, "Oh, you know, my mother was so this, and this," but she was bitter because she had an arranged marriage, and she ended up having a lot of kids, and she just was really bitter that she had an arranged marriage.
Mm,
She went
yeah.
through a lot of hell, and then he took off and left her with 7 kids, and she's like, my parents made me marry him. I didn't want to marry him. And so she was pissed off, and she was really beautiful. So she's like, I could have married anyone, you know, and I ended up having to be stuck with him, and if I didn't have a whole bunch of kids, I could have moved on. So,
Mm,
she harbored that. It's funny because I had a conversation with my dad recently, and I said, well, you have to understand what she had to deal with. I mean, you don't
mhm,
know why psychologically you're saying, oh, she was this and that. But she was also pissed off because she was stuck with your dad, which
mm,
I'm the oldest grandchild. So I remember him not being there, and I'm like, and she's raising you, and you had me really young. So your siblings were all young, right? My aunts and uncles were young. And so I think that's kind of the vicious cycle. And I think that's why now women have empowered to, if you're not happy, to get out of the situation, because it's not fair to the kids. Because if you're not happy, the kids aren't happy. We've always been taught to stay and tolerate stuff to make the kids happy. Well, the kids grow up and they have their own lives, and only thing they remember is you being bitter. And they don't
mhm.
understand why you were bitter, because they only see your parent. They're like, that's my parent. How could you say that when you know that you didn't have a healthy marriage, right? So
Yeah.
that's why it's like, you got to put yourself first as part of the self-love. Women have to put themselves first. So men too, if you're not happy in the marriage, I don't think that, like, if you cheat on somebody and go, okay, well, I just don't want to be out in the marriage because I don't love you anymore. I just think that there's a better way to do it, not mistreat the person, but just like, it's not working.
Right.
People outgrow each other because the kids
Right.
end up suffering, and it
Yeah.
stays with them, and you become older and you're still remembering that your parents are bitter.
Yeah, for sure. It's always amazed me the way that religion through society, like the whole expression "till death do us part." Like how morbid is that? Number one, and two people are, even if they come together and they're meshing and everything is connecting, and they're a match. Who says you stay the same for your
Oh,
entire
you
life?
grow and you
Right? You
evolve.
grow.
Just
And
even when I
what
took my vows when I got married, I didn't recite anything or write anything down. So I don't have to be like, he can't say, oh, you said this. I say diddly squat. The guy that married us said it. I just said, mm-hmm.
uh,
Just like when he met me, he's like, you're 28. He said, I lied. I said, no, I didn't. I was every bit of 28. I agree with you. I said, mm-hmm. I don't have to tell you how much more I am than that. You told me how old I was, and I didn't deny it. So
uh,
I never said I'm 28. I just said, mm-hmm, if you think so.
well, but that's it's like the age at every age you're going to change. What are the chances you're going to change in the same direction on the same things?
Well, because some people don't evolve. And I think that no matter how old you are, I think you always need to research, you need to learn. You can't just go and be stagnant about, oh, I learned this back in the day because that's what my parents taught me and that's how it is. That's not true. Your parents did the best they could and what they knew how to do and how they thought for their time. But the
Yeah.
world is changing. And if you have to keep your brain working and exploring, and right now I learned so much. I mean, just like, I refuse to get on TikTok, right? I was like, oh, it's for the kids, I'm not going to do it. But then I realized, like, I understand now the algorithm and all that. So I like all the, like, spiritual psychic stuff. I like all the stuff about the planets and all that. So I'm always getting that on my algorithm. And my kids are like, oh my God. I'm like, the Anunnaki and the Egyptians. And I love all that stuff. And I'm like, I didn't know that when I thought I knew a lot. So
Yeah.
I just, like, my beliefs are more spiritual anyway. Like, I was raised Catholic, but I don't really practice Catholicism because my attitude changed. I've been to the Vatican several times, right? So I just know, I'm like, this is all mind control. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Let me make that clear. That is my opinion.
Right. And we've got an opinion here in the cashew gallery, as I like to call it. Orville threw up there a little bit ago about we all have arranged marriages arranged on the other side. And I love Maria's response here. Well, whoever's arranging mine needs to be fired.
Mine too. Can I pick?
So,
What I
I
life on the other side.
yeah, yeah, yes, and ET. What's ET sociologist like? The ET call home? That ET? I don't know. But anyways, and he also said that I should be doing NDE, which I'm assuming means near death experiences interviews. And yeah,
Yeah,
I
those are really. Oh, I love that kind of stuff.
yeah, we should find
someone. I love that kind of
yeah.
stuff when people go to. That's part of my algorithm. Like when people say, "Oh, I did this," and yeah, I love. That's like I love that.
Yeah. So I would not necessarily say that everything is predetermined, if that's what you're saying, Orville Nation, Mr. PJ, because I believe very much that um, we're here on Earth to explore and not follow any predestined blueprint that someone is casting on us, and even things like horoscopes or things like that. It's like it illustrates to me external locus of control and internal locus of control. So if you believe that you're predestined and everything's already decided, that's external locus of control. So that means that you really have no say in who you want to be. It's already been predetermined. I don't think that is true, my opinion. Internal locus of control says I can make my life whatever I want it to be, bar those things you cannot control. So I'm the boss of me. That's always been my kind of stance on that. But
I think
I
you
don't know
can
if I'm
manifest whatever you want. I mean, I think we're on a higher vibration now that people are realizing this is not serving me anymore, and people are more, standing up for themselves, especially in this country. As Americans, we raise so much, you know, stuff. I got to be careful what I say.
yeah. Well, we've got another wonderful cashew gallery comment here. Valerie Heath is saying exactly no programs or no pre-programs. Valerie runs a support veterans organization, and I was invited years ago one time to that event. So I just want to give you a little shout out and love there, Valerie. So okay, so ET stands for extraterrestrial, so it is ET
Yeah,
phone
so
home.
we have the extraterrestrials checking us out.
Yeah. I mean, we've got to be
Give us
pretty.
some advanced technology so we can improve some stuff. Get these people from acting so crazy on this planet. That's what we need.
Right. Well,
the planet's going crazy.
It's pretty self-centered and egotistical to think that we are the only living things.
Of course, we're not. We
Whatever.
wouldn't see like people, like NDEs. You wouldn't see spiritual stuff or ghosts, even if you don't believe in that. I mean, my mom is not into it, and she's in the car, and she could tell you she had an experience in my house, and this is a new house I have. And when they tell you, even if you are in a new property, if the grounds that house was built on, if it's any spirituality or people that live there, you're still going to have that energy because we're energy. And so now my mom has a different attitude. She's like, oh yeah, there's something else. And so she had an experience that she'll never forget in the house. And I swear I'll just never forget her yelling and screaming, and she told us about it. She's in the car. She's like, oh my God, it was clear as day. So now she's like, yeah, there's something else.
When did this happen?
When London was a baby. I just had her. First of all, I think she has been here many times before. I mean, she came in like that. And it's funny because a friend of mine, when I first had her, she said, oh my God, there's something about her. So my mom was asleep, and she wouldn't sleep in her crib because she had acid reflux. So she was in the bed with my mother, and my mother said that there was something leaning over her that looked almost biblical in a robe and like old face, and it was solid. She said it wasn't even a ghost, and it was looking over her, looking at London. And my mother said that when she looked at it, it looked like shock because it wasn't supposed to see. She wasn't supposed to see it, and it jumped, and then she jumped, and all I heard was her scream, and I thought something was wrong with the baby, and I think I flew. I don't think my feet ever touched the ground. Like all of us flew into our room, and needless to say, you know how my house is made, right? Everyone slept in my room, including my mom and the baby and Trace. And no one would go in my kitchen unless somebody walked them in. And I'm like, you know, if it's a ghost, they can go through the walls, obviously. Everyone in the house was scared. She's in here, and she won't stay in the house. We go out of town. She doesn't stay in the house by herself. Since then.
Wow. Has it happened again?
Well, Keith's dad has said something's grabbed his leg. We had cable guy come and go into the attic where my mother and my daughter's room is the older part of the house that they knocked down. And he came down and he's like, there's something up there. And I didn't say anything. I just kind of laughed. Trace has seen stuff. My father's seen stuff.
Interesting.
I felt it. I actually had it, but you know, I'm a spiritual person. I go and like, you know, I'll go and talk to it and tell it, look, whatever you're doing, that's fine. Don't, you know, scare everyone in the house. Right. So little things will happen. So I'm like, yeah, there's something here. Like sometimes there used to be knocking on the walls. And before we were like, oh, it just something hit the wall. But that house was really long. Right. So it would be in the den. It would be in the bedroom. It would be in different parts of the house. Like somebody just knocking on the wall and then nothing there. And then sometimes the dog would just sit there and just start like crying. I was like, okay, the dogs can tell, but start barking.
Oh, for sure.
So when the dogs do that, you know.
Yeah. Really interesting. Orville's saying that we should do a once a month show on paranormal stuff, which is a great idea. And he's very interesting. He asked a question. I don't know if he's still here, but it sounds like our guest or our Cashew Gallery person earlier, first time, also does that stuff. I have a good friend who I started this show on his station, Universal Broadcasting Network, Tony Sweet, who does, what is it called? Truth Be Told, I think is his show name, which is a very popular show. I've had supernatural experiences myself, Goldie. I've been in Sedona and actually put my hand on a tree and the entire tree began to move. That was once.
Everyone says that Sedona. I've heard so many people that have been to Sedona said they, because it's a lot of Native American stuff, right?
Exactly.
So I think I should go because I got a lot of
I think you should go. I will go there with you. I won't go necessarily to the hot places with you, but I will go to Sedona with you.
I'm trying to get her to go to Hawaii and Dubai with me. I love hot places. I don't
Hawaii, no. Hawaii.
I love Dubai.
Yeah,
and I has a job for me to come over and host or speak. I'm there. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and then
but you know what? No, you know what? There's a show called Ghost Brothers. It's fun, right? Funny. It's funny to me because they've taken it off the air for a while, and I think they put it back on. And it's they do ghost hunting, like you know the ghost stuff. But they're three black guys, and it's kind of like it's we always make like jokes about how. Like black people we respond differently. Like we're scary, so we get scared and we'll run. So, like we're scared of everything. And so these guys pull up in a Cadillac truck, and then they go to the ghost hunting stuff. And it was so funny. Like the things between the three guys. Like when someone was saying they'd see the ghost, they'd be like, "Yo, bro, we're gonna go," right? And it was just some of the lingo and oh my God, I couldn't stop laughing. And I think so many people complained that they brought the show back because people were saying how funny it was. Because the other shows are like, oh yeah, there's a ghost. Let's go look. You're like, no, we're not going to go seek the ghost out. We're going to run. And so they do exactly that. Because sometimes some of the houses they've seen stuff. And anyway, it's a funny show.
Right.
It's a funny show. But I think it would be funny, but see, I would be the very one that would be scared. I'm going to be like the Ghost Brothers. I'm not going to sit there and explore the ghosts. I want to know about it, but I'm not going to.
Right. Yeah, and if you've just tuned in and you're wondering what's going on in the studio today, it is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show, very special Friday series called Tempting Conversations with Dr. Marissa and
Elon Carter.
And we're talking about anything that tempts us, and it seems like we're talking about ET, extraterrestrial.
Well, ET
call
started.
home.
Well, you know, when I lived in London, I lived in this place called Canary Wharf, right? London's got the most haunted stuff. And I lived not too far from the Tower of London, the castle.
Oh,
like I
there's
literally
ghosts
lived 10
there.
minutes away, and I would always take people to that tower, and that's supposed to be one of the most haunted places.
Yes.
And when they did the Olympics in 2012, they started redoing a lot of the roads to kind of modernize. I mean, it's still modern. You'd be shocked. You see the old stuff in London, but you walk inside, everything's really modern. It's very strange. But anyways, they have to keep the face of the original stuff. But excuse me, when they were doing the stuff in 2012, so many heads that they found underground on the roads, so many corpses, and it's so haunted there. But then you understand why. It's one of the most haunted places. And when my dad goes on tour there, he says every time he goes on tour and they stay at the older hotels, one of the guys in the group will experience a ghost in the room. He said Ron Tyson came and got in the bed with him in the middle of the night. One of the guys in the Thames, he's like, no, I'm not saying. He goes, it always happens. Like one night he's there and the lights will go on. He goes, every time we go to London, we have experience.
Wow,
that would be a fun place to go, just to do a. Orville, we need to go. You need to come, all of us, and Maria, and we go on an expedition.
So I'm just pulling this up because I've never heard of the Phoenix Lights, and I love learning new things. So apparently, this is not a new thing. There's been unidentified objects seen in Phoenix. These lights, 1997 reports, and I guess 2007.
What about Vegas? Vegas just had something a month ago, right in somebody's backyard.
What is it? Who?
That family just had, literally saw ETs in the back of their yard just in Vegas just last month. A whole family. It was all over the news. Even the police said he saw it.
I don't watch the news.
Well,
I am on the news, but I don't watch the news. Sorry.
But the police station, I mean, even the police that showed up, the policeman verified his cam was on, his camera, and the policeman saw it.
It's not coming up under ET Vegas, so I'm sure it's there somewhere. But yeah, I also had another one in Sedona where I'm walking near Bell Rock, and literally the little shrubs started got up and started walking, not feet, but they
they said that they moved.
Yeah,
look
in
up
a little
family
formation, and I was like, what?
No, Google right now, since you're in front of the computer.
Yes.
Google Vegas family that saw the alien in the backyard. It's been a thing.
Family.
I can't believe you haven't heard of it.
ET in backyard.
Just say alien.
Oh yes, here we go.
And it's a
family claims
some young kids.
Aliens. Okay, let's see. They actually have a YouTube on this.
And they have video of them hiding, actually. The dad was working on his car.
Okay. And then all right, let's see. Skip the ad.
Everyone's been interviewing them.
Can you, I don't hear anything from this.
They will be talking about. Thanks for joining us here at 6
I don't know where
o'clock.
I'm not on my computer.
Office,
I'm
the
at my
family says
great-niece's
something
house,
crashed
so
in the backyard, prompting them to call 911, saying they saw creatures.
Unmute.
Our 8 News Now investigators digging into this for.
So let's see if I'm gonna. Okay, here's the footage without sound.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I also.
Everyone thought a shooting star. Then these people say there's aliens.
We'll have to find it from next time because it doesn't look like it's that clear.
I have it's all over TikTok.
Oh, is it?
I ain't dealing with that.
There's so many. It's a whole family. It's a young Hispanic family. That's the house, I think.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, my last one is
kid was 16. You could see that. You could see it crouching down, And the dad was working on the car. Then the other family members came out. And so I think they finally did an interview like a week ago on Inside Edition, because they haven't been talking about it.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, we have a lot of fans of this stuff, so we'll definitely
We got to do a
work
show on it because I like this stuff.
Yeah, well, we'll get London too to come on.
Well, she's she's loves anything that's sci-fi or Marvel. That's my daughter. And
Well,
Lego,
I don't know.
she builds really intricate Legos. She's building like a $700 Lego set right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've been told that I had an aura photo done at the Conscious Life Expo. I actually have had a couple done, and they all are the same. I don't have them with to show you.
Yeah.
But the one part of it, I was told that I'm audio clariant because of the pattern and the color. And I have to say that I do hear voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not because you cuckoo. No,
Yeah, no, I know. I literally do this show because I heard a voice at 4:30 in the morning say to me, radio. And this was in 2012. That's how I
remember you saying that. I'm just,
Yeah.
I didn't mean that in a mean way. I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, I know. And the book was a direct result of the voice saying,
because
right.
that's your angels talking to you. It's just that people
It's
get
so
it,
weird.
but a lot of people are not in tune to it, and a lot of people aren't.
Yeah.
Their energy is not high enough. Especially if you do drugs, you drink, you do a lot of things that inhibit your ability. Because you know how you get a gut feeling, you meet a person, you don't like them, or you don't go a certain place because you're stalled for a reason, because you have your angels guiding you. Some people are able to tap into it and pay attention, and others just ignore it. And I tell my son and my daughter, do not ignore anything. That when you get a gut feeling, that's your spirit guides
every time
trying to keep you safe.
See, for me, that's the connection that everybody has to the power source that creates the worlds, make sure the planets don't crash into each other. We all have access to that. That's why I teach meditation, because that's my easiest way. It's like I have a cord coming out of my butt, and I plug it in to that energy grid, because
that sounds
all
like
energetic
cord in your butt.
That's why I said it. So
and you plug it in. Don't say that.
My butt cord. Sorry. So I plug it in.
You're gonna get all kinds of people.
Oh my God, we're in so much trouble.
Plug it in. Plug it in.
It is Friday. I know Goldie's.
You know I have to say something like raunchy just because it's fun.
I know. Goldie's laughing her assets off.
Because she knows I talk like that all the time. I have no filter. She's used to it. She's like, I said I like to talk shit at the beginning of the show, so why not say
we're getting all kinds of reactions
here.
Stop
talking about that. Go ahead.
But anyways, when I am plugged in to that,
there you go.
No, I'm not. I didn't say where. When I'm plugged in and I meditate, I get that energy, and that's the energy that allows for creativity and innovative expression and all of that. That's why I meditate. And the reason that started was I was God shopping. There's a step in the 12-step program that says, God of your understanding. And I was raised, super religious, so I wasn't a big fan of the angry God, but I was really looking for another way that is not atheism and agnosticism. So that's the first time I went to Agape, by the way, PJ. And I was sitting there during meditation, and I literally felt a presence behind me, like that, like what Goldie was talking about, that leaning over the crib. I could feel that energy, and it was moving behind me, and it felt like Batman on Hollywood Boulevard. They dress up with those giant platform shoes and the big wings. That's how heavy the air was. And then I felt a tap on my shoulder, literally a tap. And then the voice said, "Darling, you can church shop from now till eternity and have fun with it. But know that I've always been here waiting for you to turn around and dance with me."
Wow.
And I went, oh, and I started crying, and I'm just like blubbering, and I'm just, oh my God, what was that? That was literally, my ET experience, where I was and then from then on, whatever the voice says, I just do. Whatever the voice says, I follow. And it's not something outside of myself, as Orville said. This is, I think we're all, this is my BS. My belief system is that we are all expressions of love energy, of high vibrating energy, like you say, Alon. That's who we all are. And we're like, we come out of that to have an experience on earth, because over there everything's fabulous and perfect, and there's no taste, touch, sound, sight, uh, um, free will.
No, we need taste. I need sushi. Why? Don't say that.
Because it's being alive. That's why I keep saying life.
I think you do whatever you want. Well, wherever you go, because you can create whatever you want. So whatever you create here, even if there isn't no taste and feel and touch, you can create that if you want. Because you can create whatever you want wherever you go.
Did you see that?
They're just energy.
Did you see this comment?
I can't see because I'm my glasses.
Oh, it says now we need a Marissa Unplugged show.
Yes. Unplugged. Yeah. He's plugged up right now.
PJ is unplugged. No limitations on the other side. Yeah. PJ is fully engaged here. And we're coming to the end. Let's see how much time we have. Frank is saying we have 4 minutes. So, final word?
Final word is you just been unplugged.
Don't walk around plugged up, man. That's my...
Especially not butt plugs.
Now, that was you. That had
I have nothing to do with that.
with...
You brought that up. I have nothing to do with those things.
Hey,
that's you.
Just
that's
because I brought it up doesn't mean you have to run with it.
Why? You should know better. It's tempting conversations. Of course I'm going to run with it. If you give me any opening, I'm going to start talking shiitake. Because it's funny.
That opening again.
If I can make it funny, I'm going to make it funny.
Okay, let's see. Thank you, Maria, for both. Wait, I don't have my glasses on now. For being beautiful inside and out. Thank you, Maria. She's trying to bring us both down here. Oh boy.
Okay,
I'm not even gonna read that out loud.
What did she say? I'm gonna be
it was Orville. He wants us to get a sponsor that has to do with what you're talking about.
Oh. I am in Palm Springs.
You are in Palm Springs. I bet there is one there. I bet there is one.
Oh, I'm sure I could get someone to be the face for the sponsor. Well, somebody walking by.
I actually had a show on my Sexual Healing with Marissa, Dr. Marissa, when I used to do it once the last week of the month when I was on once a week. And I had a researcher, a condom researcher as a guest.
A condom researcher?
A condom researcher. It's, what did they say? It's better with latex or something.
Was he a tester? Did he test him?
He was the doctor. Keep it clean there. He was the doctor.
I'm not gonna say anything bad. I'm just saying he had to be the tester in order to be a creator of it.
He was the researcher.
Right. In order to research, you have to do your work. I'm just asking. You said he was a sponsor.
I think it's better when we don't have topics, is what people are going to be saying from this point on.
Oh my God. I'm just laughing because we talk about the craziest stuff. One time I was sitting there, I got to tell you this real quick before we go. I was sitting there talking to her, and you know how you have the headset on, and my son takes the headset and starts listening, and he goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe that's what you guys are talking about." I was like, see what happens? See, you get traumatized listening to mom's conversation. You heard what you didn't want to hear. You shouldn't listen anymore. And I didn't know he was like sneaky, and he had like his head back turned. And we were talking about stuff like this. He listened.
That's hilarious.
We're always talking about something crazy.
He should know better. Hey, anything you want to plug about his performances?
Yes, Trace is going to be at the Mint on November 17th, and he just did a TV show. I can't say when it's coming out, but it's a lot of big names attached. And the closer it gets, when they allow me to talk about it, I'm going to tell everyone he's actually performing his revised version of his grandfather's song.
Frank's given us the 1 minute going into 30
Okay.
second. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through and a peace. Thanks so much to the Cashew Gallery for coming along. PJ, Maria, Valerie, and new Omega. I am so delighted that you were able to join us. Now, go and have the best weekend ever. Bye.
KCAA Loma Linda.